I guess we're live, everybody. What's up?
Hey, we gotta do dude shirts on.
Oh, do we have sound? I guess we need to do our little sound test thing here, where we play a video, make sure we can hear.
Yeah.
So if you need to turn that up, you can.
I think I'm good.
Were you good? All right. So, how's the peace pipe?
The peace pipe? What are we talking about?
The peace pipe you spoke about.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's good. It's got me good.
I guess we're live, right?
Hello?
Can you hear us, Ricky? Let's see. How do I do this? Can you hear us, Ricky? Yes? No? Can you hear me, Rick?
I can hear something.
I guess she's probably she's just probably chilling in the background. How do I kill this thing?
Oh, so Gina says she went to.
You hear me? All right. Oh, there she is. Was that a yes?
Yes.
Why are you whispering?
She's so low.
Why are you whispering?
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Are you watching TV?
TV's on in the background.
Okay.
Let me try to find. I don't know what the remote is.
Oh, is that you? I hear you. Who's on Facebook? You gonna type your name?
Say your name.
Whoever's on Facebook.
Say hello.
Right
Don't
there.
be scared. Come on and
So-
play with us.
So I'm putting this on Facebook stream. So if you guys want to join, then you got to go to this address. You got to go to that dude-stuff.com/live. Otherwise, we can't hear you. Hey, Robert, how's it going? So it looks like the live stream on the other page is not working. I don't see it's on here. Oh, there we go. So, yeah. So anyways, I don't know if y'all can see that, but you got to go to dude-stuff/live, LIVE, if you want to join with us and be on camera. Otherwise, it's going to be about, 2 minutes delay? It's like a 2-minute delay on Facebook.
Yeah.
Let's see who's in this. Hey, I hear you. All right, Ricky, I see you in there.
Who else is on?
So we got Robert on Facebook, and then we have somebody else on
Hey,
Facebook.
Robert.
So yeah, maybe we should put it on Facebook. Let's see how they get to us.
Oh, we got a hot in here again.
You what?
Hot.
That sounds
Sounds like
conceited to
you
me.
need to practice how to get on.
No, I do. I put it on here all the time.
You put it on there, but you're looking to see how to get on. So that
Well-
means you ought to try to practice getting on so you haven't memorized.
No, we actually do this intentionally because, we don't really start the show until we get like some people to talk to. So this is kind of the process, and then I edit it and take this part out.
Mm.
So don't be sarcastic, Ricky.
Ha.
Finger down.
I'm paying no attention.
Yeah, she'll pay
But,
no attention.
So yeah, Robert sees it. So, I put it on there all the time. If you go to Facebook, if you look at this post right here, it says exactly what to do to go on here. With the dude-stuff logo. If you click on that, then you can get in. But what happens is if I type that in, then it edits that out. It edits that out so you can't see. But if you see this logo right here, it's on the screen I called you Amber.
Did you just call me Amber? Are you serious?
I half called you Amber. Amanda, I meant. So if you guys look on the screen right there, where it says dude stuff, on that logo, you'll see the link to get in here to the chat. And it'll be real time. Otherwise, if you do it through Facebook, it will be delayed. What? Are you still mad?
I don't know who you talking about.
I'm talking about Amber.
Amber. Who is Amber?
That's some girl I dated at one time. Ouch.
And you thinking about her now?
Well, not now. Well,
Is that a reminder of you, of her?
Not exactly.
Okay.
That's
Well,
a
my name is not Amber. It's Amanda.
That's a reminder for you to remind him to call her later.
And she don't want to call you, obviously. She's nowhere around.
Well, no, she's not around anymore. That's like she's like, that was a long time ago. All right, I'm trying to change this topic.
Happy to talk about her now, huh?
So does anybody have any questions? We have our questions, but this is kind of like the mixer where we just talking. You guys have any questions? Then we can cue it up.
Yeah, ask away. Feel free. This is Do Stuff, so we can talk about anything we want on this show, even if it's embarrassing. And calling each other out.
Hey, I could call you out on a lot of stuff.
No, I can call you out on what happened this past Saturday. But I'm not everybody. But you would love to hear it. It is very meaty, as Gavin said.
Don't listen to her.
Do listen to me. I speak truth.
There was some of that you in there too. What like the neighbors and like
the neighbors. That was morning time.
In the morning time,
and
yelling at the neighbors, yelling at your boyfriend. Yelling at your boyfriend like as loud as you possibly can.
Oh my god! But it was like for a split second. But wait,
no, it was like
you were like,
I cannot believe she's doing this. I know the neighbors are going to call the police. It went on and on and on.
It did not go on
for like 20 minutes.
No, it did not. You are so exaggerating. Yours went on for like hours.
That's not true. Anyway.
I lost a lot of sleep.
I don't know what that means.
I might have to figure out what you guys are there doing.
She was just screaming at her boyfriend.
I was not. We were having a very loud discussion on the phone because
if she gets mad at you, oh my gosh. Hopefully you don't have any neighbors.
So it was a community discussion.
I don't like anybody cutting me off. Once you cut me off,
it's like a screaming contest to see who can scream the loudest.
I want to be heard, and you cut me off.
I mean, like
then I'm gonna try and overpower you.
Yeah, don't get her mad.
He's changing the subject.
You can. It seems like she would never get mad like that and like scream. She gets mad and screams. Like I was like, it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for real. It is. You see how she seems like she's like laughing and all fun to be around? Well, I saw
everybody has a line.
I saw a whole nother side of her.
I've seen some other sides to you, but like I said, everybody has that one line. And once you finally cross it, gloves are off. Don't get mad at me because of my reaction.
I'm not an argumentative person, and I don't really like to.
I don't think I've ever heard you argue, Ricky.
I don't. I close up.
I don't like disrespect. As soon as somebody gets disrespectful with me, that's when I lose all respect. And I'm like, okay, fine, man. You want to be disrespectful? Let's do it. You know what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Right. That's how I feel sometimes. But with my first marriage being rough, it was just best just to walk away and shut up and come back with a fresh head and then give him facts.
So that's part of my problem is I've never been one to do that no matter what. I've been through some hell in relationships, but I'm not one to zip it.
No, she definitely wasn't.
I never argued around my kids. I've always just, because I had a lot of kids, I just left the situation so my kids wouldn't have to hear it. And, I'm 50 years old. That relationship was a long time ago, 15 years in, you just have to learn.
Yeah, I'm the type that'll be like, kids go out back. I guess
it don't matter. If you had kids over here and they were out back, they would even hear you.
Oh, that's exaggeration.
They could hear you down the street. They could be wherever. Ricky probably heard you in Michigan. Did you hear somebody screaming?
That's called a community discussion when it's loud enough for your
It
neighbors to
was.
hear.
It was. I was like, oh my gosh.
Why are we talking about this? We're gonna edit this
All right.
all out. We could be talking about something else, but you
Oh,
know,
let's talk about something else.
you all are all up in my business.
I was trying to get like one or two more people in here because Darren didn't show up this week.
Well, you know what? We're the party tonight. We're gonna party from this
So
jump.
Robert, I don't know if you were planning on joining us on the chat, but if you were, you gotta go to dude-stuff.com/live, and you can join us. We can bring you in, have a conversation. But so I wonder who that person is at the top.
You know, my aunt dated his brother, Robert's brother, Mike Mazuka.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know him?
Yeah, I know Robert.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I've known him for years. Yep.
So
He's a good-looking brother.
is it?
Yeah. I don't know what she was doing with Mike Mazuka.
Hmm.
He reminds me of that like little marshmallow guy off of Ghostbusters.
Oh my gosh, are you serious, Nat? It's the same link. I made it the same link every time. All right.
Go to the comments. It's right in the comments.
It's right in the comments. Nat, you see that TV behind me? Point to that logo right there. That's what we're going to do from now on. Point to that logo. You see that? Go there where you see that logo. The link is right there. The link is right there. Or you could just go to dude-stuff.com/live. I mean, that's here every show. He can't figure out how to get in. It used to change every week. It would change.
It hasn't changed.
But I made it so that it would always. You got in okay, right, Ricky?
Of course, she's a woman.
Yeah. Once
I mean,
I did it, so now I just log into it all the time. It just automatically puts me in here without doing anything.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, where's the link? All right, I'm gonna type it. What did you say? I'm gonna type this. Go ahead, Ricky.
I said you forgot to run your banner across the bottom.
Ah. So here, I'm gonna put the
Yeah,
banner on the bottom, guys.
Producer
Good
here.
looking
So
out, Ricky. My friend of 33 years.
That long?
Yeah,
It's a long
I was
time.
17.
17. There you go. Oh, hold up. That's the wrong link. Let's see. Nope. Maybe this is it. There we go, right there. All right, so that's the link, guys. You go type that in, you'll get right in. Where is this? It's right there at the bottom. Right there at the bottom of the screen.
Stuff
Right
live.
there. See that right there?
.com live.
See that right there? See that? That's what you type in.
What is that? It's what?
Brown or black?
He's drawing you.
Are you drawing me?
He wants to know what color your lips you want him to be.
Red. His son's drawing a picture of me. It better look good.
So when that finally gets in here, we'll proceed with the questions. So Ricky, you have any questions for us? How's Columbus or how's Michigan?
Oh my God, our mayor almost got kidnapped.
What?
Who?
Our mayor. Oh, no,
Your
our
mayor?
governor. Our
Oh yeah,
governor,
that girl,
Yeah.
Wackman or something?
Whitmore.
Whitmore,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
How many months chocolate? Super strong. Oh no, this guy can't get in. I done typed it out too.
He can't get in? He always
It's
gets
the
in.
same every week. Let me just text him real quick.
Please call him. Put him on blast is what you do. Be like, "Fool, why can't you get in? Do this all the time."
It's the same.
What is it?
I just sent it to him. Hold on. This is.
You may need to make a special ed tutorial for those who are slow.
Something. I mean, I put a banner up there. There it goes. N hat. What's up, N hat?
Oh, y'all make it difficult.
It's the same every time.
Somebody
It's
makes
the
me
same.
I don't even know the link.
It's the same every time. Dude dash stuff / live. It don't change. It's the same.
All right, /live.
It's the same.
All right,
I even programmed that in there so it'll be like
you
that.
know.
Now you know.
All right. I got you now. Now I know.
All right.
/live.
Sound like you're on.
Oh shit.
Sound like you're on your way. You're halfway there. You're almost there with us, catching up with us.
I'm working on it. I'm packing. I got to get ready for my trip tomorrow. So.
What trip?
I got a wedding out in San Fran.
Parsons. You got a wedding you're going to.
Yeah.
You hoping to get lucky?
Oh no, they kind of very liberal and out and very social distancing. I don't know. I doubt it. That's why.
Why are you going then?
College buddy from way back when. I mean, it's just like
A lot of people are doing it virtually.
Have you tried?
No,
have you
I
been
got
on a plane?
to. It was one of my
Have you
groups.
been on a plane?
No, I
Are you
haven't
bringing
been
a date?
since a lot. No, I can't. I mean, I'm not gonna bring. I don't have anybody that close where I can pay somebody. I mean, I can pay $500 for an extra ticket and expect them to be in my room because I ain't gonna pay for another hotel room. That's a topic on itself, right? I mean, are you gonna invite a date, right? Across country, pay $500 for a ticket, get her another room, or expect her to be in that room with no expectations at a wedding?
You never know what could happen.
Well,
she might give it up.
I don't know what that happened. No.
Good night.
It's like a topic in itself right there. I mean, so, two things. Question to women. If someone asks you on a date, he pays for your plane ticket and going to be in his hotel room, do you expect nothing to happen? What?
Yeah, something probably going to happen.
like if somebody invited you, right? Say you were single. Somebody invites you, paid for your plane ticket, and you expect nothing to happen.
Yeah, you're right. Go by yourself and get the hook up. Then you'll never have to see the person again, probably, you know?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I can't just like invite a nobody.
Let's ask Ricky. What do you think? What do you think, Ricky? Yeah. Can you do that?
I'm not sure. It depends on how well I know the person.
Okay.
All right. Let me say from a male point of view, I ain't paying $500 for a plane ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's one of them things you just need to clear the air beforehand. You just got to put it out there. Like, look,
but you can't. At the same time, you got to be somewhat of a gentleman. You can't say, "Hey, don't come with me if you ain't gonna hook up."
You don't have to. Well, you don't have to do that. You could just say, "Look, I'm looking for somebody to go to this wedding. It's in San Francisco." You just talk about it. I guess it depends on what your expectation is, and your expectation of them is. I mean, there must be something compelling you to.
Gil, stop. You're paying $500. Let's go to you. You are going to take somebody cross country.
Well, I would never take anybody.
$500 plane ticket. You're going to spend 3 days with them. Oh, okay. There you have it. Then that's why I don't have a date.
Enough said. It's a lot of money for a date.
Y'all ask me a question one way, and then y'all try to move me another way, and we're back around.
Well,
What if they wanted to pay for themselves?
yeah. If it was Ricky, she paid for herself with all that money she make.
No problem at all, hands down. And my
Ricky
kids.
might pay for you.
But
Ricky might pay for you.
somebody also rolls out and says, "Oh, I got a wedding." It's like, well, I don't know where to go, and it's like, well, you know, it's like you bring a date. No, I mean, that's a lot to ask somebody to pay for their plane ticket. Oh, I would pay. Really? Okay. I mean, if it happens like that, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can do
If
that.
I'm paying for somebody, something's happening.
Yeah.
There
So
you go.
Hey, I'm
So
good.
she said she's
but
paying
I've
something.
never had
It
that
ain't gonna
conversation.
just be like just hanging out. Ain't that
No,
right,
I
Rick?
mean, I'd have to
Yeah.
know you for a
Yeah.
while to even do anything. But still,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
expecting something.
There you go. And
I'm
I
expecting something.
know no one like that. So female, anyways. I would never bring a male date. Sorry.
Right, especially if you
That's
pay
it.
for it
All
too.
right. I don't mean to take over your show, but
No,
Yeah,
we were just kind of warming up. This is like we're just warming up right now.
It's better when you take over the show
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, did you hear what Ricky said?
Oh.
He says it's better if you take over the
no,
show.
I didn't hear.
No. I said
Oh.
sometimes because he does have some really good topics to talk about.
I appreciate that.
Well, thank you from both sides. So, I guess we can proceed. Let's see what I want to start with. I think is this the wrong sheet? I got the wrong sheet.
You do. I think this from last week.
I guess Ricky's gonna.
You are cut off.
You're gonna have to run the show while I print something out.
Yeah, me.
So y'all talk. Our topics got lost. I printed the wrong one. That's totally my fault. So what's on the schedule for everybody?
All I remember was some weird acronym, like 5-letter acronym you have about how men are getting soft and women taking over.
MCTOW.
And what would we do?
It was like
Why do you
MC.
think? Why
That was the
are
only thing I
men
had in my
soft? What is this whole
Soft.
thing? Yeah.
Like what kind of song?
I mean, all kinds of soft. I mean,
All kinds of stuff.
they ain't riding. They ain't trying to
Well, I heard Gavin ain't getting
stand their
soft.
ground.
I heard Saturday night he was a hard ball.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I don't know what she's talking about.
And he tried to keep it all in the family.
Was she having master?
I think she made you her little slave that night.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find the topics.
I didn't get no sleep. No sleep.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't her, by the way.
It wasn't
Just
me.
to keep things clear.
No, he's my friend. But yeah.
Sometimes don't you wish you were a fly on the wall?
No.
I wish I could unsee, unhear all that.
No,
And I
seriously,
would have left, but it was like 3 a.m. and I was a little tired.
I don't know where my topics are, guys.
I want to be nice. All right,
Oh,
dude.
you're
Let me hook you up. Dude.
No, it's
All you gotta do
anything
is
goes
scroll through your
topic.
page.
I got it. I think
We'll,
this is it.
we'll start with your
I got it.
5-letter acronym, and then muddle your way through and backtrack on your post. That's all you gotta do.
Hold up.
Oh man,
I
I show you how to run a show, dog.
To
Go
the
ahead, Matt.
Yeah. Bring up a topic, Nat.
Y'all talk.
I said if a woman has many sexual partners when she wants, does that make her a slut or just assertive? That's what mine was.
It depends on who
A
answers
slut
that
or a
question.
Assertive. Like if she's just going around, sleeping around and stuff like that, picking and choosing who she wants when she wants. People call women a slut.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I just think she's being assertive and she knows what she wants. She goes after it, much like a man. But because it's
I
a
agree.
woman, we're looked at a little differently. So do you think she's a slut or is she assertive?
You don't never really tell somebody how many people you sleep
The
with,
difference is
especially your
discretion.
friends.
To me, the difference is discretion.
Okay, what do you think,
A
Gavin?
slut.
A slut?
No, the
He's
difference is
so.
discretion.
What if you do it? It's okay though.
I don't do
You're
nothing.
too old school. You're too old.
It's a double
I'll-
standard. I've only
I'll-
been with 6
I'll
guys
get
in
back
my
to y'all.
whole
Talk.
life.
I'll be right back.
I think like if you're dating and you're like doing it, it's fine. But if you're just like meeting up and hooking up randomly with like guys at bars and stuff, I think that's like reckless, dangerous, and
It is.
could be a little bit of a slut.
Wait. It is. I've only been with 6 guys in my whole life. And I dare one of them to call me a slut.
Yeah, that's probably not much more than me. If I include women, it's probably like 8.
You know, you can say as long as I know you.
That's because it stays the same. Because I don't go around sleeping around. That's the thing. Mhm. I was married for like 10 years, and then I got married again for like 5.
I've had long-term marriages, 12 years at least.
I have been in a relationship since I was like 16. I've been in long relationships. It's never been like, hey, a month or 2. It's always been a long thing. I don't like being single. I don't like being free, anyways.
I like the independence.
No, I like being independent, definitely. Like anybody I've ever been with has usually let me do my own thing, let me have my like hobbies or whatever career I want. If I feel very like constricted or like forbidden to do those kind of things or stopped in any way, it freaks me out. I don't like that. I like to like they do their thing and I do my thing, and as long as we are faithful and nothing interferes in the relationship, it's not a problem to me.
I got too much going on to be babysitting a man.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to babysit them anyways? They're going to do it regardless. There's no stopping them if they want to do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that right?
I guess
That's right. You know best.
What I miss?
to me, the difference is really discretion.
Discussion.
Yeah.
If a woman, she sleeps around, she assertive. You said a slut, obviously. So.
Well,
If everybody knows it, then yeah, she's a slut. But if she like picks pockets and like hits different, like if she hits like that whole crew, then she's a.
Yeah, I think it should be done to where it's like no one's business and they don't know about it if you do choose to do something like that. But if like the whole world knows about it, then you're just a sloppy slut.
How would you feel
Again,
if your
discretion,
partner?
right? Discretion.
How would you feel if your partner knows that and he asked you to go take a test? Are you willing?
Ooh.
What kind of test?
STDs, HIV, AIDS,
Yeah, I would.
any of it.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't roll like that. I'm
I
not
think in a new relationship,
like
I think
a saint
you
at the
both
same
should
time.
do that.
But if you're in a serious
Yeah,
relationship, it's
spring
yeah,
chicken.
sure. I'm open to that.
You might have caught something along the way. I always think that's a great idea to do that when
I
you're
don't have any
starting
issue with that.
a long-term relationship. Like, hey, here's my papers. Let's see your papers. Okay,
Especially
cool.
if you know you,
Do this
especially
thing
if
now.
you know you've been reckless.
Yeah, and then, you should want to know for
No
yourself too.
Yeah, no issues
Clean
with
as
that.
a whistle.
So, like my response in the forum, I think the issue for me is not the number. It's more to do with every time you have a relationship with somebody, then you have, you're creating history. It's like a Carfax, you have all that history,
I like that.
And-
Yeah.
and you're bringing that to the current owner.
What's your maintenance schedule? All right. I like it.
Yeah, and then and it's just that you have history with all these people, and then it's kind of like baggage in a way
But we
that
all
you're
have baggage.
Oh, true.
Huh?
True.
We all have baggage, whether we've been married, had
Right.
children, whether we've just sustained.
right. But
Agreed.
if you were with
Agreed.
if you're with one person for a long period of time, it's less baggage than to have like 10 people in your wake, and then you're bringing that in. Issues are going to come up. You might have, you take somebody to your favorite vacation destination. Oh yeah, I've been here with so and so. Oh, I've been there with so and so, and there and so,
Again,
and you can never
discretion.
have, you can never have anything special to share with that one person because you already did it. Like you went to the Cane Islands or whatever. Oh, let me take you to this place that I go all the time.
You work
You
harder
know?
to make new memories at new places.
But then if you leave something out, then you're either lying or not telling the truth.
Well, I'm not saying leave it out.
Be upfront all the way. I mean, I have all kinds of baggage. I got kids. I got problems.
So there's two issues, and I think Nat will address one, and I'll address the other. First, I got to. Okay, so I'll address the one I have, and the one I have is that you still, like, for example, if you wanted to go to some island that you go to all the time, I might not necessarily want to go there if that was you and your old man's place that you guys like to hang out all the time and you go there all the time. I probably wouldn't want to do that. I just probably wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. So that's just me.
I would disagree with that, only because you can create new memories. I can sit there and show you what I specifically liked about that, and you may find interest in that. Just because I went with Tom for 5,000 times, I think that I could get you to enjoy something like that.
Well, I particularly wouldn't want to do that myself.
Sometimes, like, the places I've spent with my exes were pretty bad experiences, so I want to create new ones. So yeah, like Brian and I have gone to the same places I've been with my ex-husband, and it's now a good experience, a good memory I can look back on. I like the place, and now I can connect it with a new memory, a positive memory.
Well, I mean, that's a good way to look at it. I think Nat wants to bring up a different angle, though. You want to bring that up? I can see it on your face. I think
it's all about context and discretion. And what I mean by that is, again, so Amanda brought up the context. The context, if you didn't have a great memory about it, hey, you can make the new memories. I'm cool with that. Discretion is, look, if you've been here since your childhood and you've gone through there and you've had other boyfriends there and this is your place, but you had a lot of memories with your ex. The thing is, don't bring it up. Don't be like, I remember when my ex. No, what? Then the guy's gonna feel weird. But the thing is, you gotta
create a new memory.
New grooves in the record. Well, you gotta put new grooves in the record, right? Old school. Hopefully, no millennials here, because then I gotta.
We all know a record.
You gotta put new grooves on the record. Yeah. But you gotta put new grooves on the record until you get those new grooves in.
Well.
You don't know what a record is?
A record, like a player. I thought you meant something other, like a metaphor.
No, that was straight up.
45,
I know I normally
33, Yeah.
Yes.
Or innuendos
but
and
you
metaphors.
Can't let on, right? You don't want to say that so that you allow your new partner, to put those new grooves in. But if you also, my ex is like, so clearly there's deep-rooted stuff with you and somebody else and your memories. I don't feel like I can engage as well. I'm fighting against a ghost. So, it's not like you're telling me the truth. Now, if all of a sudden you create new memories and it asks and comes up, how did this happen? You're going to be honest. But I wouldn't be open to the point where you're throwing all this old history out there with your old ex.
Right. And see, that goes back. So that goes back to how all this thing draws in full circle and why partners matter. It's not the amount of the number. It's just the fact that you'll have all these issues similar to this that you're going to have to deal with. Whether it's emotional, you might not even be something that you're talking about. It could just be psychological, that you have a psychological wall in front of you based on the number of people that you've been with. So that's the problem I have with the whole number thing. And that's all.
Okay.
There we go.
There it is.
What's next?
So we can lighten this up a little bit and talk about Amanda's topic number one.
Oh, do women like romantic guys and dates? I say yes.
So she posted this romantic scene. I guess was it on the beach or
Yeah, with
You
the
know,
little lights
something? A
on.
blanket on the beach and pillows and
Brian,
the picnic and all.
Gavin says people who are romantic are usually psychos.
I didn't say psycho.
Or
I did not say
psychopaths.
psycho. I did not say psycho. What I said was this. Normally, of all the people I've known a lot of men that were like the pickup artist type, and they just they put on the front, wine and dine, buy nice things, and then once they get you, then it all changes. So to me, I've always looked at that as a warning sign, but not to say that guys can't be romantic. They can be, but generally, if they're overly so, to me that's a red flag. But Amanda, she eats that up, guys. If you wine and dine her, oh my gosh,
No,
she melts like butter.
I
For real.
I do not.
You do.
I do
You
not.
do.
Do not. What I like is if you're a type of guy that is romantic and that is just you, then yes, I do enjoy that. If it's because you want to do it, because you enjoy doing it. But if you're put on a show and you're not going to be able to be consistent with it, don't even bother. It's fine if you're not a romantic guy. That's okay. If you're just a simple guy that doesn't know how to be romantic, that's okay too. But just don't start out being super duper romantic and then all of a sudden it stops. So I like doing romantic things for my man, and so that's just me. He's not really all like that. Sometimes once in a while it'll come out of him, but that's just not his personality. So I'm okay with that. That was how he was in the beginning. I'm used to it. I know that's him, and that's fine. But when somebody like portrays themselves as being this lovey-dovey romantic whatever person and then they just stop, that's not cool. That's like false advertisement.
So can the man wine and dine a woman, do other romantic things? Is he expecting sex afterwards?
I think a lot of men in the beginning do. It's like that's their payment. Like, all right, I took you out to dinner. Now you got to pay.
Or maybe it's a guilt trip. A wine and dine. Huh?
What would they be feeling guilty about?
Well, I think that's the implication. Well, maybe not implication, but maybe that's the projection. If I take you out and buy you nice things,
they feel better about whatever they did wrong.
Then the girl might feel like she's obligated to do something. I don't know.
What does the scene look like? We've seen what the scene look like in Amanda's picture. What would it look like with a man? Would it be sports, pizza, beer, and a couch?
I think she's more of a flower type.
No.
You get a bunch of flowers.
If that's the scene that a man is setting for the woman, what is the woman's scene that she's setting for the man? Is it pizza, beer, and sports?
I'm not sure what the question.
A clean house and roses.
Oh, you mean a trade-off?
Dinner made.
What does she?
Yeah, because the picture that Amanda posted was, I would assume that's the man setting the scene for the woman, correct?
Yeah.
What is the opposite? What does the scene look like that the woman's setting for the man?
For a man, usually it is kind of like the whole pizza and the sports on the TV and whatever food they like.
I'm lost, guys. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Like like a scene.
Are you saying
I'm trying to be all romantic?
If she's trying to be romantic,
like because women do that too in the beginning. They act like they're all about sports, hanging out.
Really?
Yeah, some of them do that to like woo a guy and get him to like her. And like, oh, this chick's awesome. She lets me sit here and play my video games, and she doesn't have any complaints. Like I did that in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. I did.
Okay.
And now I'm like, get off your video game and come spend time with me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought, what it was really is that I thought I was okay with that in the beginning. And now it's like, all right, spend time with me.
You weren't okay with it, but you thought that you were trying to be a better you, but really that wasn't acceptable to you. But you were trying to be giving, on that.
Quiet over there from the peanut gallery.
Yeah, or just be accommodating. Looking to be. Obviously, if this guy wants to play video games, then you're gonna try to let him play video games.
Yeah, whatever makes him happy. But there is like a limit, a time limit.
Yeah, I never was one to be in video games. I mean, I play them. I don't play them with my kids. I design video games for them to play, but I don't really play them myself. So that's never an issue. And I don't play. I'll watch a lot of sports, so that's not an issue either. I just hang out and do like technical stuff like this, which I guess could be equally the same.
Yeah, you had like a camera video on when I walked in here.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's like playing forever in the kitchen. It's some guy talking on a camera.
Oh, that was a YouTube video. I got a TV, and I got like 3 TVs down here within viewing distance of where I'm sitting.
I'm like, I come over here, there's no music, there's no TV on, but there's a lot of nerd stuff on the TV all the time. Like, can we get some music up in this joint? Like, it's kind of boring. Or I just hear the air conditioning and nothing's on. Yeah, see, he knows his son is laughing because he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, she likes Ricky, not Ricky, but Amanda.
Now I'm Ricky?
No, that's
First
Ricky
of Amber, now I'm
we're
Ricky.
talking as
I
a
need
group
an
here.
apology. I need an apology.
You're okay. I apologize to both of you and you.
Yeah, you better. I would find name. I need a name tag.
It actually would apply to both of you because Ricky, I know you too. You like music, you like to dance and stuff. We used to, and same thing in her.
I like to dance sometimes. Like I pick and choose my
So yeah,
nights.
so it could have applied to either way.
That was when I was 20. I'm not that way anymore.
Okay,
I'm
I haven't
50.
seen you in
I'm
20 years.
chilling.
She said she's
Okay.
chilling.
So there you go. So, do women like romantic guys and dates? I think they do. Do they, Ricky?
Sometimes it feels kind of weird.
Does it?
Yeah, it's only happened. I mean, I've only had this scene maybe 2 times, but it's just sometimes it's kind of weird. Sometimes it feels like, okay, what's this for? Like, what did I do that you're doing?
Yeah, like when it's like out of the
what do you have
blue,
to
it's
tell
not
me?
like assistant. You're like, what
Right,
did
like,
you do
what
wrong?
yeah,
Like,
like
are you
I'm
guilty of
ready for a
something?
bomb to drop. I'm waiting for
Yeah.
a bomb to drop.
Yeah. Normally
So,
it happens too.
I mean, for me, here's my thing. As far as romance goes, I like romance. I know. Don't jump on me, everybody. I do like romance, but my thing is this. My guide is this. I won't do anything that I can't maintain. If I can't, like, if I'm gonna go buy you roses like every holiday, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna be able to maintain that. So I'm not gonna start that. I will do special gestures here and there, and things that I can maintain.
you go buy me pizza and show up unannounced?
Exactly.
You
I'll
can
do
maintain pizza but
I'll
not
do that.
roses?
I'll do that.
Roses?
But yeah, so my goal is, I will romance you to the extent that I can continue to do so, and that's it. What?
Move on. Okay. Can women be overweight and hot?
For some reason.
You can't hear me, Joshua? I think there's something on your
I don't
end.
hear anything.
Everybody can hear. Everybody
I can
hear
hear
me, right?
you.
I can hear you.
Ricky can hear me. Nat, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So yeah, it's on your
Let me
side,
jump
Joshua.
out and be back.
All right, so can a woman be overweight and hot? I guess if she's in a sauna. That was a joke.
We got it.
Wow.
We all got it.
What do you think? Can she, Nat?
Gavin made it funny.
Can she, Nat?
You want to ride that
Is
wave?
your mic on? Hold up. I think your mic's off, Nat. Your mic's off, Nat.
He's just a going to town.
Nobody can hear you.
Nobody
Your mic's
can
off.
hear me. He's just a talking.
I don't even. Nat, your mic is off. We cannot hear you. It's on now. Say something.
Cannot wait. That looked really bad just now. Put that down.
We
I
can't hear
can't
you.
know.
Nat, we cannot hear you.
We can't hear you, bro.
We cannot hear you.
He
is
might be on a
still-
phone call.
You know,
Yeah,
I think he said a little too much.
I don't know what he's on, but he's on something.
He is going off. And
Is
just
he saying 1 minute?
Oh,
is he
y'all
saying-
should have seen him dancing the other
Is he
night.
saying
Oh
1
my
minute?
God. See, there he is. He's dancing.
He can hear us.
He
but
can dance really good.
Nat, your mic is not on.
I think
Whatever.
he's on a phone call. He put his fingers up for like 1 minute or something.
All right, maybe so. So we'll just go on to
Finger
the
out,
next
put my hand up.
the next participant on The Price is Right.
But my thing is that I asked that question for guys to answer. You know, as far as how to.
Oh, the heavyweight.
How does guys feel? I mean, I've had 9 kids. You know, sometimes the weight just doesn't come off. I'm 50. It doesn't come off as easy as it used to.
Yeah, well, women especially, because our bodies want to hold on to that fat in case
I
we
mean-
had another baby.
Right.
So a woman
having
can
a
be
look-
attractive. A woman can be attractive in the way that she presents herself and carries herself. Yeah, that's true. Like Chris.
Yeah, like
Allen,
I've
she
seen
was-
some
she was
heavyweight
kinda
girls,
cute.
and they've always had like their hair done and smell nice and look presentable.
Check, check,
I mean,
check, check.
they're not gonna wake up like that, obviously.
Yeah, you got to echo.
They go out every day like they're gonna meet somebody. You know, it looks nice and presentable.
How about now?
Mm-hmm. You're good. Nat. Yeah, you're good. Nat.
What's
So
going on, people? How y'all doing today?
Hey,
we're doing good.
Cool
We're
Mo D.
talking about
You got always that deep cool Mo D, like midnight
I love his
DJ
voice.
voice going on.
Yeah.
So we were talking about can overweight women be hot?
Overweight, yes. Fat, no.
Exactly.
I
Isn't that
thought
the
the key
same
word was
thing?
the operative word was hot.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Attractive, but I don't know about hot. Well, maybe they are hot. It's hot. It can get hot when you have.
I'm
I
really like
said if there was a song
I
that
don't know.
could be.
I'm like a people person. Like I fall in love with the person before I fall in love with like a look, like their weight.
She does fall in love with the person, I
the
think.
person.
I mean, judging.
Oh my god!
No. I'm just saying, she. If you wine and dine her, then you're.
No,
She's
No,
better.
I've had some wine and diners, and I couldn't because first of all, I had no chemistry, and secondly, their personality sucked and their compassion sucked. So no.
I think everybody that wined and dined her, she fell for.
Do you forget where I used to work?
Well,
Do you forget some of the celebrities I've met?
maybe not. Okay, maybe that's not an accurate statement.
Thank
but
you.
However, if she's attracted to you in the least bit,
And you have like your
And you
eyes
wine
can
and
attract
dine her.
me, or your smile. Then your personality that goes with it. Oh, I'm full after that. Like, you have a wonderful personality, like you're, a compassionate person. I don't know. I have a type, and you're a nerd. You got to be a nerd.
For me, if the man was kind of heavy, so it doesn't bother me. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't bother me at all.
I love it like a big man too. Like I feel like
If it's
protected and
sloppy,
small.
if it's sloppy, I'm not attracted to it.
Yeah, if it's like they don't bathe and clean and stuff like that now.
Yeah, just
I'm
sloppy.
lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like goes along with their personality, like
Yeah.
even if you're thin or in shape, and if you're lazy and not compassionate or driven or any of that, like I could care less.
I think a great quality in anybody is if I ask, what do you want to do today? They don't respond. I don't know.
Yeah, I hate that.
I would want them to
Yeah,
have
I
some
hate
kind of
that
thing like, well, I was thinking about doing this and this and that, and they have some sort of plan or some sort of goal or some sort of imagination, right? Because that means you have a zest for life. You want to enjoy life. You're not just letting life happen to you. You're trying to proceed
Yeah.
through life. That's
Be a
big
better
thing.
version of yourself.
Because you're going to get tired of somebody always saying, I don't know, and you're just dragging them along with you if you're that type of excitement person. And if you're both just, I don't know, then you're just couch potatoes. Right? And what kind of existence is that? So you can,
So I
because
think-
that's how it starts with friendship. If you're hanging out every day, if you like, it doesn't matter how they look. If they're always like, I got something cool to do, and you're just hanging out, let that happen. It might be a year or 2 years, but eventually you guys are going to grow close, and then you're going to have that familiarity, and then it could develop into something more romantic. Even if when you first met them, you didn't have any attraction towards them.
Have you dated?
They
Have you
changed your
said
life.
Yeah,
Yes.
You have?
yeah.
I've never known you two.
Um,
I mean, it's-
yeah.
Who?
Some girl, I can't think of her name.
Oh,
Amber.
Amber was the model. She was skinny.
little bunny foo foo.
What?
Bunny foo foo.
No, Bunny. Well, we didn't date. Well, I gotta edit that out.
I see Nat's trying to up his game. He got the soundproof foam in the back of him. Trying to reduce
Yeah.
that. We're getting serious.
He
Yeah, put
is.
him on the payroll. He's like, I'm here. Ride or die, right, Nat?
That's right.
I
I
knew
see
Nat
you,
would
man.
never date anyone overweight.
What about you, Nat? What's your type?
I have dated actually someone overweight but not fat. There's
Oh, liar.
No, I have. No, I mean, the thing is, part of my thing, and you talk about ambitions, like, are you trying, and my biggest attraction is eyes and face. You gotta have the eyes and face, eyes gateway of the soul. Actually, there's a gal right now I'm trying to be a little smitten with.
I might just go for him.
A
Romantic.
bit more like
No.
overweight than I would normally. But she rides horses. Like it's not the fact that she's not trying. My biggest thing is,
Right, donkey.
you know what I'm saying? But if you're really overweight, if you're really fat, basically you're not trying. You're not. I mean, you got to be like I said before on Friday. You got to be active. You got to be able to keep up because I'm an active individual. If you can't keep up, that's
Oh, I know. I mean, yeah, the other night when we were at Sportsman, you were like a dancing fool. I mean, you would not sit
Nat-
still. He
Nat
was
can
dancing.
dance.
He
Y'all,
can dance
everybody all right?
circles.
He can dance.
He can dance. Yeah, he can actually dance.
I was impressed. I thought the
thought he-
Backstreet Boys didn't come join us.
He needs to dance and everything. Bye, bye, bye. He was doing it and had his little footwork. We had a video of it actually.
Oh yeah, we did.
I love to dance. Like I grew up on Dick Clark and Don Cornelius.
Oh, like a tap dancer.
And that was my superpower. I found out like all the football players' kryptonite. It was dancing. And once I found out, I just honed in on that. And I got better and better. And I went to sock hops and I went to the dances. And I was like, you know what? I might be small. You got me on the football field, but damn it, I got you on the dance floor.
Yeah, you were a fast mover, man. I don't think even the ladies, they all were scared because they couldn't do what you were doing, and half of them were drunk, of course. But yeah, you were doing really good.
But to circle it around, the thing is, you got to be able. So that's why I'm saying, oh wait, it's very difficult for somebody that's really fat to be able for me to be attracted because you can't keep up generally. So if you're a little overweight, it's just because you had like 5 kids and all those things, but you have this amazing eyes, this engaging eyes. That's number one, and then this beautiful face. Then I can work with you. I can fall in love with that. Again,
What if that person is beautiful eyes and all that stuff, in shape, but is lazy and
Bring that in,
doesn't
Gavin.
like the chance to do that kind of stuff?
Bring that in.
Yeah. You got. I mean, here's the thing: is everybody has this bucket of 4 or 5 criteria, right? And I don't know what the magic number is. You got to be a 7 on this, an 8 on that, a 6 on this. If it all kind of compiles up to where you can manage that and you can roll with that, no one's 10 all the way across the board.
So what about this chick right here, right? Y'all know who this is, right? Y'all know this chick,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
you're so funny.
Now is she the overweight or is she the too fat to handle?
She's fat. She's fat.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think she is kind of overweight, but because she's so cool, man. Like I would hang out with her.
She's
She's very
Yeah,
energetic
like,
in her movies.
Yeah.
Like I think I would like if I had a chance, like yes, let's kick it, let's hang out. Now I don't know about dating her, but I would be in that space where I would
I can
with her
hang
all
out
the
with
time.
fat people. I've hung out with plenty.
And well, what could happen is because of how cool she is and stuff, you'd start to maybe just be like, man, I'm really having a good time with you or whatever.
Exactly.
And then she could be one of those girls that slide in on you. You wouldn't expect it. Next thing you know, like, how did I end up here? Because she's that kind of cool, that kind of outgoing, living life and all these energetic things. And you forget all about everything you see and you're more enjoying the experience you had with her. You see what I'm saying?
Type of
Yeah,
body
I'll give you an
language.
example. I'll give you a great
Let's
example.
drop
Like
that
Kelly Clarkson she got fat. She got overweight, right? I could roll with like a Kelly Clarkson because she's ambitious. She works out. She actually slimmed down a whole bunch. But like a Kelly Clarkson, wonderful personality, amazing eyes, cute face, ambitious, not lazy, very genuine.
Yep.
Like a Kelly Clarkson. I could roll with like a Kelly Clarkson.
So I guess if you're overweight, you can still be perceived as hot.
Yeah, because I think Kelly Clarkson's hot.
But are we talking about hot, or are we just talking about fun?
Attractive. Yeah, it's not hot. It's not hot. You're not gonna say dang.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say hot. Yeah, but I would say. We born down to that, Amanda. I would say no.
That draws them in. It's going to take more than that.
So,
well, it depends. What are you trying to look for?
Always draw somebody in.
Something temporary, or are you looking for your ride or die?
Because I know a family member in my family who loves, like, overweight people, but I introduced him to somebody who was overweight, and he was like, well, I said she was overweight, and he was like, well, how overweight? So I guess it really does matter. How overweight is she? I can just do with a little bit. So.
I guess it depends on the purpose. So are you trying to, if you're talking about friends, yeah, you could always be friends with somebody, but and some people like bigger women. I mean, some people like that.
Yeah.
I say more cushion for the pushing. Oh.
Have you ever dated a fat guy?
Yeah, I've dated 3 of them.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
One was like really big and tall.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know, like, how are we going to do this if we do? So
I guess it just depends on the person, maybe.
Depends on the person.
I think most people, they have a limit, but then I guess in some instances it would depend on the person.
So to answer your question definitively, by the way, no, in my opinion, no, they can't be hot, but yes, they can be attractive.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
So as we weeded through all this, I was like, oh, like Kelly Clarkson, but then would she be hot? No, she's not hot, but I would be attracted to her.
what? What
Yeah.
gear for podcasts? Huh?
Oh, that was because of the bossy posted. Huh? She was reading.
Our conversation. I was just saying in general. Does that make sense?
No, she was reading one of the topics, but that came from.
Confused.
So my brother posted something, a camera, and I guess it posted a long time ago. Then it just came up. So then we're just talking about what gear people might want to know. What kind of gear is good for podcasting and stuff. So that was.
You can tighten that stuff out. All right, just to let y'all know, I have another. I'm going to push to 19 minutes. I'm going to push to 9:45. I got an early flight tomorrow, and I still got to finish packing.
Okay, that's fine. Well, we should have our early night tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, we're having an early night tonight.
Well, y'all keep going. No, let me stop y'all. I'm just saying, I got to cut out at 9:45.
Well,
So if y'all have like a
let's
pressing
move on to
topic,
some juicier
Insight.
Give him the hot topic. He wants the hot
All right.
topic.
hot topics.
All right. How about the one about no hookups?
Why are men hitting and quitting?
So-
Why are men hitting
Well,
and quitting?
that was that's shorthand.
This is
All
gonna
right.
piss me off.
So the
ain't it?
question is women who are out there dating now, like not young chicks, but like the older ones that have been divorced a couple times. They'll always say they're not looking for a hookup. And to me,
I would think they would be.
I mean, so if a girl said, "Oh, I'm not looking for a hookup," that's not what I'm looking for. Well, nobody's looking for a hookup, are they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you weren't Saturday, were you?
I didn't have nothing to do. I was seduced, by the way.
Dude,
Thank
you can't seduce the willing.
I had no intention on doing it.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, so my question is,
That's an inside thing, Josh.
yeah, it's a thing.
It's all right.
Uh,
Have to catch you up
You
offline.
got deflowered. There's small ears in this room, so we'll just leave it at that.
okay. So the point of this whole thing is, a lot of women nowadays will say that they're not looking for a hookup, and generally, what I found that to mean, and you guys could argue against it if you want, and we could talk about it, is generally that means that they're out there dating. And matter of fact, it's a girl at work and she tells me that she always dates these guys, and all they want to do is hook up. They're not serious, and then she breaks up with them, and then she's dating a different person, and then she thinks it's serious, and it lasts for like 2-3 weeks, and then it doesn't work out, and then she shows me like pictures of them, and these guys are like, they're like supermodels, like in GQ. And I told her, I was like, well, don't you think that the reason why they're not staying with you is because that type of man can have any girl that they want. They're not gonna settle down with just one person until their value, their SMV, their sexual market value drop. Once it drops to below 8, 7, then they'll probably think about settling down. But when they're at 9s and 10s,
they're at their peak and they're having like a smorgasbord of their pick, and women are just throwing themselves
and
at
this
them.
particular girl, she's not probably a few years ago she might have been pretty high on the scale, but now she's probably the 7. So, and I was trying to tell her, I'm like, the reason why is you're picking guys that are too high. They're they're not matching with your sexual market value. You're like, I didn't tell her she was a 7, but if you're gonna keep picking 10s, then they're not gonna stick around because you're not a 10.
You believe the men were a 10? You judged them, and
I'd say that they were 9s or 10s, and I'm not. I'm not guys all
Yeah, I would say, if I can, I would say this. I think that there is some kind of, I would call it a disease that people can contract that has them on this thing. It's men and women where they just want to conquer something. It's just about the challenge of conquest. Can I get this? Can I lay it down? Can I do anything to it? And then I've conquested that, been there, done that, need something else. And I've had friends who've been with a girl for 2 years and just, I don't know, like, I need some strange. That's the term they use, just to have something different. When they're really saying, I just want to conquest something again. I want to be Lord of the jungle. I want to go out into the wilderness, wrestle something down, and say, I've done that.
Y'all do that. And what is it with women that go after married men?
Women do that too, and it's just about that. It's a disease. It's something that's uncontrollable. They really don't know why that thing is. I think too that it could be that you start to date somebody, and then maybe you realize we don't have a lot in common, but I like the shape of you, and so I want to see what you look like naked. And then you get to that point, like, okay, that's all I really wanted was to see what you like naked. Maybe I'll do it 2 or 3 more times, but we don't have a chemistry. We're not connecting.
Let me get it out my
like
system.
This and that about you. So they do genuinely lose interest and move on. The problem is that they both conceded to have sexual intercourse way early in the relationship. If they would have waited, it wouldn't have been a hit it and quit it. It wouldn't have been I feel used or whatever. It would have been let's spend time to get to know each other. And you earned the right to do that. You've qualified because we have a connection. That's why I want to make the connection deeper.
And I think intercourse, it's way better when you have that connection.
Right.
Experience out of this world when you have that connection.
Agreed.
And if people would just wait for that, and then they finally do that, it'd be so much better. They wouldn't be branch swinging, trying to get fulfilled.
They usually consist of food and a little drinking, even if it's just wine, which loosens your inhibitions. And then you have a nice time and you're laughing, and then you feel like, hey, I'm having a good time. Let's have an even greater time. So let's go back to the bedroom, right? Because what else can we do that's great and fun? That's just a lot of ridiculousness, though. It's like, what if we just had a date where we sat and talked? We didn't go out and drink. We didn't have anything to do with that. I don't want to have you impaired. I want to know who you are truly.
We just sit and talk for like hours every day.
I want to get to know who you are, right? Because
talk forever on. Be quiet.
That can backfire on you. You go out and you date somebody, and you come back tomorrow, and they're not the same person. Maybe they're crazy. Maybe they, man, dudes got to be careful because chicks will get you. You will go out and think it's all good, and she like you, you like her, and you have sex, and then you don't call her tomorrow. She say he raped me, and that's crazy. Like, for real, it's crazy like that. You got to be more careful because that chick could be that crazy, right? And have her sister testifying that you did, like, yep, and I came over and it was whatever. So you got to be careful, but it should come down to a point where we change our mind state. It's not about I look good so I can get all the women I want. I'm just trying to add notches on my belt, whatever. I'm trying to conquest. Again, that's a disease. I think
people just make a wreck of their lives by their decisions.
We got to get to a place where we're looking at the person as, first of all, I respect you as a person. And let me just drop this little last nugget too. if you got one of those dudes that got a whole bunch of chicks all his life, and then he says, "Oh well, I got to get out of the game because I'm getting old or whatever. I think I'll settle down," like you said, Gavin. That dude still ain't gonna be no good because he never learned how to value and appreciate the woman. It never came to him. He's not gonna learn it at 40, 50, or 60, whenever he feels he got to settle down. He's not gonna learn it then. So he's not gonna appreciate you. You're just the fallback. You're just the thing. And hey, if somebody lets him get through,
It's like, I'm getting old now. Let me settle down.
he's still gonna swing that thing in another direction and not even mean nothing by it. But you're gonna be devastated because you trusted him. You know what I mean?
Well, I won't say that that's all the cases. I mean, I do know a guy that he was probably you know, he would date a lot of women, and then now he's settled down, and he seems to be, I mean, he seems to be stable, but he did date a lot of women, and you know, all he cared about was one night stands for a long time, but he seems to be stable now.
It got old to him. He matured and learned.
Yeah, I believe
something
so.
else out there.
So, but
I think they learn that after a while because they're not getting fulfilled doing these one night stands, and they're like, they think the next time they will, and the next time, and then it's just a repeated awful cycle, and then they finally give something else a try, and then they realize, wow, I've been missing out this whole time.
I mean, I think that it, like you were saying, that you can condition yourself to the point that, you know, it's like an addiction, and then
like an addiction. You think the next time you shoot up or you drink a drink, you're gonna get fulfilled. It never happens because it's terrible for you.
And then you might
sleeping around is terrible.
You might
for
think
you
later on that you're mature and you want to settle down, but then you've created this life for yourself that's all you know, and that's who you are now. So I can see how that could happen too.
Yeah.
I see Nat got the psychological analytical concept going. What you thinking, man?
So, you know, first off, let me give you the context of this for the rational male. Really interesting, especially since Gavin, I don't know if you read this book since you mentioned.
I studied the guy who wrote it. Yeah,
Tomasi. Yeah, so it's got a lot of validity in what he says. At the same time, I believe there is a point of maturity. I think you have a certain sexual market value, and then you maximize that opportunity for one reason or another. At some point, though, as men, let's break it down to men and women, because I think oftentimes, and in general, don't say, well, this person doesn't necessarily fit this case, but I think in general, men are meant to procreate, create. And unless you harness,
that's why y'all last 1 minute.
I don't.
I'm kidding. All right, go.
Let me start shorter than Joshua. So
I'm funny.
Unless you transmute this, as Napoleon Hill would say, transmute this energy, the sexual energy, into something of a business creation, invention creation, whatever that creation is, you're going to naturally be in this sexual creation mode, and you're going to go out and conquer. I don't know if it's disease. I think it's nature. I do think it's nature, unless, again, you transmute that energy, that sexual energy, into something else. That's why great musicians are able to do amazing songs. Elon Musk is able to create space and electric cars, all these things, right? You're redirecting that energy. Not many men are able to redirect that energy.
Well, hold up. I believe it was his opinion that energy is wasted if you're focused on a woman. Isn't that kind of his opinion?
I don't know it's wasted. That's opinion. I mean, your job, I shouldn't say your nature, man's nature is to create, whether it's to really extend your bloodline, essentially. If you watch Nat Geo Wild, right? When you're trying to quote unquote conquer women, you're trying to extend your bloodline. If you watch Nat Geo Wild, that's what lions do. That's what bucks do, right? They mate all they can mate because they're trying to
like my mom.
extend their bloodline. What was that?
I think you should date my mom. You sound like her.
You're already doing.
Yeah, but we're talking about
A
that.
little out there from last week. You're trying to extend your bloodline. That's what your nature is. But as a man, not as an animal, now how do you change that and redirect that, if you will? That's what I think transmutation means, right? Redirect that energy to something even greater than your just animal nature, to be able to create business, inventions, jobs, impact the world kind of thing, right? And nothing is good or bad, it just is. What are you trying to do? For women, women's role for centuries, and if you look in the animal kingdom, is to protect the pride, right? Nurture the pride. So if you look at that in that context, it's a little bit more difficult for women to do the things until the last 50 or 60 years into the sexual revolution, right? Has really changed that aspect of women. So to the original question is, what should we do, or what is, what is right, or what is it we're trying to do? Again, how do you redirect that energy?
Can I add something to that?
Yeah,
I
please.
definitely think what he said was good about, men creating and women nurturing. I think that's a key there. I'm gonna do a little bit of science for you, if I may.
Please.
So the sun that's in the sky that lights our days and it gives life to everything on this planet. The sun goes away, we all die. Sun provides energies to the plants. Animals eat the plants. We eat the corn and the plants, and we eat the animals. This is the circle of life. But everything that we see, touch, and taste, everything that your body's made of, came from a dying sun. As the sun was dying, it produced different higher, heavier elements. So it starts with helium, hydrogen, and as it gets to longer in this death process, right before it kind of implodes, it starts creating iron and these heavier metals, right? And that's what all of us are made up of. All of us, you, me, the lions, the tigers, and the bears, right? It came from the sun. The sun created it. And then we have the earth, that is the nurturer, the mother earth, right? And together, the sun and the earth provide life in a delicate balance. The sun respects the earth. It's not overpowering. It's not too hot. It's not, too bright all the time. It's in a delicate balance with the earth so that it provides just what the earth needs. And then the earth takes those energies to turn it into life. So when a man and a woman get together and they don't respect each other, they fail that delicate balance. That's the thing that's missing, is the respect. The balance is off. The man is off doing too much. He's overpowering. That's what he's all about. Overpowering. It's the conquest. He's spraying his juice everywhere, but he's not getting all the women pregnant, right? He's just doing it to be doing it. Now, if he was able to implant babies, that'll slow him down. If every time he hit some girl, he got her pregnant, he'd slow down, right? Because he see the consequences of his actions. If the sun just kept blowing up, saying, hey, I'm creating life, I'm doing me, nobody would exist. It's damaging. It's destructive. And that's what's happening with our men. They're being destructive. They're damaging these women who are damaged for the next guy, and the next guy damaged for their kids. It's a vicious cycle. That's why I call it a disease, because it is harm. It's not just I'm having my fun, or no disrespect. It's not that I need to redirect my energies. It's that I need to understand the power that I have and control that power and say that this is for a purpose, to be in a balance with this woman. But I never get a chance to know her, to understand that balance. I don't dance with her. I don't take time to get to know her rhythm. I'm just here to say, you cute? Okay, great. I like your body? Great. Okay, can I hang out with you? Maybe, I don't know, but let's start with the two things, the cute and the body. Let's go ahead and get those two together. And then we'll see if I can get together with you, because he's thinking about releasing that energy. But that's supposed to be to create life. That's really all you're supposed to have sex for, is to create life. That's all the point of it is. It's not supposed to be like, this is the best thing on the planet. It does feel good, but that's so that you would be triggered to do it again. Because if you knew what came after that, if you had a baby, and the cost of that baby and the 18, 20 years of raising that kid, nobody would want to do it unless it felt good in the beginning. Those 20 seconds of, oh my goodness, this is it. Oh,
all right. So
it's to spur you on to have a kid, right?
So how do you fix the problem?
How do you fix the problem?
Yeah.
To fix the problem is every problem. The solution to every problem is this: we suffer, we perish, we die for lack of knowledge. So we have to have understanding of our roles, of what the woman's role is. We have to have understanding of what respect is, why that's a value. How can we get that out of the woman? How can we not just have her respect us, but how do we get that out of her that we will respect her? Because sometimes the woman comes off as goofy or this and that, or she's focused on the wrong things. And you're like, hey, I don't even want to re-educate you. I don't even want to restructure you so you can fit into this glass that I'm in, this vessel that I'm in. You know, Nat has talked about a lot about how he has goals and visions and working out with the girl and these things that he would love to have in her. But a lot of times that's not going to be in the girl. She's going to be that she dated this guy for 10 years who was a drunk alcoholic, and all she was trying to do was not get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? And so she's not even in a space to be like working out. I never thought about that. But it might not be worth him to invest in her to say, hey, we're not punching you in the face. We don't do that here. And I just like to have somebody that can work out with me and do these things. And she might be all the way about it, but it might take 6 months to get her into that new stage. Right. But if we respected her from the start and said, hey, I see where you came from. I know the potential of you. Everybody has potential. Everybody watching the show has potential to do more than what they're doing. It's a matter of getting lined up with the right people, getting the right things drawn out of you that you can see who you really are in yourself. Sometimes those things aren't just readily available, but you got to also know who you are as yourself, right? And they should have been educated as a child, not so they was worthless or nothing, or you're never going to be anything. It's a lot of folks that suffer from that, and nobody's saying, no, you can do more. You could do these things. So the first thing we could do as individuals is we can start being that type of person that when we run into somebody, no matter who they are, whether we're dating or whatever, we always say, I respect you. I see who you are, who you can be. Let's raise you up. Let's see the potential in you. As we get to be that type of a habit, who knows who we changed, not for us, but maybe we changed Amanda, not to pick you up, but maybe we changed Amanda for the next guy. And there's somebody who has a happy relationship. And that guy gets to well, and then their kids get to go well. And then they teach their kids good stuff that next generation, they teach their kids. And we have that impact by planting that seed. You know, this conversation here on the show is planting a seed in somebody else. What's her name? Ricky, is it? She hasn't really said much, but maybe she's listening and her daughter can hear in the background too or something. And she's like, hey, I need to make sure that the man I'm with, and it's not about making him respect you. It's about being at an equal stance that he can see eye to eye to want to respect you. It's about you carrying yourself in a way that you're not like, I'm all about money. I'm all about my looks. I'm all about this, because those things fade. They don't last. But what lasts is, like Amanda keeps saying, a good personality, good intentions, a good heart, you know, something like that. Can we have a conversation without losing each other or getting angry, or you're so high, I'm so low, and we don't meet? But if we can respect each other, I don't care if you're a super intelligent 220 IQ
or a janitor,
somebody with a 70 IQ, you should be able to relate to something that they find entertaining or whatever. And it shouldn't be about, well, they don't entertain me, they're too slow. It's not about you. Engage in them, invest in them, and pour into them. You don't have to marry the girl, but make her better for the next guy that does come along, so he gets a good, you know what I mean? Because you're there now. You're the one that has hands on. So let's just take responsibility for each other, right? Let's do that. Invest in each other, respect each other, men and women alike.
So here's the challenge I have with that is, like last night's debate, I get my 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Confucius once said,
I will not be lectured. I will not be lectured. No, go ahead.
Confucius once says, beware your thoughts because it becomes your words. Beware your words becomes your actions. Beware your actions becomes your habits. Beware your habits because it becomes your character. Beware your character because it will seal your fate. So where I'm going with that is most people's nature gets sealed by a big portion, 50-60% of it by the time they're 5 years old. And another section becomes they're about 13, then 19, unless there's a tremendous traumatic event that comes in our life, death, divorce, those type of things, where it just totally transforms them, right? And so while they have that potential, the likelihood of them changing in 6 days or 6 months, very, very small. So when you're a man or woman, you have to take a look at history, right? So I've hired, fired. If you've ever been in a management position, what do you look at? Their resume. What do you look at? Their most recent actions. And by and large, and I ask a lot of these questions. So, and you got to be careful these days because of HR. So tell me, I ask this because this will dictate if they're able to change or not. If there was a lot of events, tell me how was it? You're from Ohio. Tell me what it was like growing up in Ohio. Oh, this. And if it goes, oh, my dad divorced, it was very traumatic. They're bringing that up right then and there. They're still being impacted by that 5 or 13-year-old child. because their thoughts becomes their words becomes their actions, their actions from their habits, and that's been ingrained in them. And I'm not, especially at my phase in life, as much potential as anybody thinks they have, 6 months is just not going to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to invest that. I'm not saying they shouldn't deserve some person to invest in them doing that, but I'm not going to do it because I already know, just from a human standpoint, from a hiring standpoint, from a business owner standpoint, over 2 decades of business, this is not going to happen. So to be able to help somebody and connect with somebody and to transform that person, it would take a very traumatic and dramatic event for that to happen.
So that person as an individual needs to get the ball rolling. And if you see the balls rolling, then your assistance might be helpful. Otherwise, the effort will be too great to try to do it.
Yeah, risk and reward, right? At the end of the day, I hate to boil it down to more of the business term, but risk and reward. I mean, I'm willing to risk. I mean, if I see that opportunity, they're a good person and all those type of things, and there's that connection, and I feel like I can bring them along, and they have like-minded goals, values, and so forth. Sure, but history tells a lot. 5, 13, 19 a psychologist would give you.
Let me ask you guys all each a question. I go around the room. I'm gonna start with you, Amanda. What's your oldest friend? Like, what's the duration of that friendship?
I guess it would be you.
Wow.
I've known Gavin 20 years, a little over.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have friendships that have lasted 10 years? Like beyond, outside of Gavin, do you have other relationships that have lasted 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have
Gavin, what's the duration of your oldest friendship?
He was my oldest. My second oldest friendship would probably be another girl that I went to school with in like 6th grade, but I knew Gavin before that.
What's your oldest friendship, Gavin?
I have a lot of old friends, like our first show, the guy Keith, and Ricky.
Yep.
I've known Ricky for decades. Keith for decades. I have a lot of friends that I've known for a long time. That other girl that comes on here, just a lot of people. Dawn.
What about you, Nat? What's your oldest friendship?
I got a buddy I just literally texted with a little while ago since the 4th grade. All my groomsmen. The guy I'm going to, that I got to cut out early, is the wedding. I've known since Virginia Tech since I was 20, so almost 30 years.
Oh, Nat, I know Nat for 20 years.
Yeah, technically, yeah. So I mean, I know people, and again, all those things hold true except for traumatic events. My buddy, one of my groomsmen, it dramatically changed his life when his and how he is today. Because his mother died when he was 19, 20 years old. Again, right in that cusp, right? It's an inflection point. My 4th grade buddy, he was a certain way. I don't know if he would change if he didn't have all these traumatic events. He had a divorce and then his wife who killed herself and then got married again. So that made a pivotal change. If that didn't happen, that traumatic.
Your friend, though. You guys are you still talking stuff, right?
Oh yeah, literally. I mean, he texted me like 45 minutes ago.
Well, I asked that question to just simply make this point, right?
Yeah.
For me, everybody I meet is a potential friend. I mean, that's how I look at it. Everybody I meet is a potential friend. Even if I caught them stealing from me, it's like, okay, well, what's really going on? Let me try to help you through that situation. If you need some money here, just ask. But everybody, we all have issues. I have issues. Everybody has issues. And I'm only going to solve those because there's somebody next to me that says, you're going to be okay. Or here's how we can help you through that thing. Or here's how we can work together. We couldn't have any of my businesses couldn't survive if I didn't have some sort of a team. Almost everything I do in life, I have somebody else walking with me, helping me through that. And that was kind of the point to say, like when you meet the guy and you're doing an interview and he's got this traumatic issue, for me, I might say, okay, I need you to just type out emails all day. Can you do that? Great. Do that for me. But then I'm going to say, hey, Joe, how's it going today? Hey, you want to go to lunch with me today? Let's go. And I'm going to have lunch and I'm going to say, man, I got to go see my parents this weekend or whatever. You know, oh, that's right. You said your dad passed away. How's that going? And I might try to talk to him through that. Maybe nobody's ever talked with him through that, because that's my friend. And if I knew him when I was sixth grade or whenever, my sixth grade friend, we're going to talk about those things. So I'm saying that's me. I'm not saying you guys got to do that. I'm just saying, like, that's how I look at every person as a potential friend. And if you're going to be my friend for 10, 20, 40 years, then we can talk about stuff. And listen, I don't know what the relationship's going to do, but I'm not going to, when I meet you today, you have the potential to be my friend for 40 years. And that's up to you if you want to stick around and hang out, and if you do or don't. And there probably isn't much you can do to lose that role with me.
With them and help
so I'm going to walk with you for a while. Yeah, I'm going to walk with you through your life and whatever that is. And no matter how deep the rabbit hole goes or how high you go, I'll ride with you on that. Even if I just met you, you tell me your mom died, you want to come hang out, let's go have dinner, let's talk about it.
I'll ride with you, but I don't know if you're going to be my ride or die. So that's the difference.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying like you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's where we really
take the time out to invest even in a stranger, because you never know the potential they might have.
Right.
And the guy told me this story today. Let me just bring this up. It's funny that he told me this today, and this kind of worked. There's this guy, and he was like a slave, right? This is an old time story. He's a slave, and the king's son would go out and he would play, and he would see this slave, and he was the only kid that could play with him. So they started playing and hanging out, and they eventually grew older. And then the slave got a job inside the king's house, right inside of his castle. And this was great because now as he's older, he gets to play with the son, and they're like best friends and so on and forth. Well, then what happened later though was crazy. So the kingdom goes into war, whatever, and the servant had become the king now, and his friend had died. And later on in life, he realized somebody told him that his friend, who was the king's son, had a son. And so he came back and he said, find his son. And his son had been tortured and treated. And he became lame. He couldn't walk. And he said, everything that your grandfather had that was passed on to your father, I'm going to restore to you as the king. He gave it to his son. And it was all because of the relationship that the king's son had with this servant, who said, I don't care that you're a servant and I'm the king's son, I'm the prince. Let's hang out. He's seen him as equals, and they had a bond. And then later this dude became king, right? And it came back to his son. So we never know who somebody's going to be. Even today, you could be something, but 10 years, 20 years, you could be something different. Might end up being the next president. And I want to make sure that you're going to remember me and take care of my family, right? Look kindly upon me. So I said to say, invest in people. You never know who they are or who they're going to be, but we're all worth it. And we all got struggles, we all got issues. And if I didn't have somebody with me, where would I be at, right? So that's how I look at it. And I think that's going to fix the whole sexual thing, whatever. If we have respect for people, we're looking at how can I invest in you through my conversation by learning about you, me gaining knowledge is really investing in you, because then I'm able to be a better friend to you. I'm able to be a better listener and a better partner with whatever we do. If it's not romantic, if it's not business, if it's whatever, I don't want to sit across the table with somebody who just doesn't care. They're all into themselves. And that's probably the only person that won't be my friend. If you're on your phone, like, yeah, and guess what? Next week I'm about to go see this. I don't have time for you. You're too much on you. There's no room for me in your life because you're filling up your whole life. You know what I mean? With yourself. But other than that, that's my 35 cents. Thank you for listening.
And then he's right. You could add to somebody, and then that they pass it on, and it just gets passed on. They take something from you. Either it's compassion you're giving them, it's help, it's advice. They take that and they may pass it on, or use it to build themselves up and be a better person. And people need to be more like that in this world. We probably wouldn't have.
I think we discount. I think we discount the value of each other, like how really we are connected. You two are sitting in the same room, and you guys are breathing the same air, so that's something you're exchanging. But there's molecules and atoms that are floating off your body, and they're actually getting into her body, Gavin, and they're becoming a part of her body. They float off of you, they release, and they become joined with her body. So she leaves with actually a part of you by being in your space. It's such a small thing. We don't really realize it. That happens, right? I mean, even your skin cells and stuff are flying around. She's breathing it in. She's eating your skin in your hair. She's eating her skin in hair, right? So we're always taking people with us. We don't really realize that. But then your energy, your vibration, somebody could be in your space and be angry. You walk away and you're angry.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, I think we all agree on that. But I think at least I won't speak for Nat, but I'll speak for myself. That I think we all agree on what you said, but at the same time that you can only help somebody until they're ready to help themselves. Exactly. And they have to do their part, or else they could bring you down. somebody they could bring you down and make you a lesser person.
I think you never stop inviting advice and offering advice. You could do it from a safe distance. Doesn't mean you have to like be hand in hand walking them, but you could give them always constant support,
Right.
positivity.
I think that I'm a very supportive and inspiring person.
Yeah, you can do a little rough. You got a rough bedside manner, but yeah. But it's like I was dyslexic, I had a speech impediment. I would get picked on in school, and it took like my older brother would always be like, no matter what, you could do it. No matter what, if you can't speak right, find other ways to do it. Don't let people steal your thunder, and that really resonated with me. And I just pushed myself harder and challenged myself harder, and it made me a greater person, and it made me very sympathetic and compassionate towards other people who struggle like that. So I think that it's good to have help like that. And even if they are going down a bad path, you can offer a positive advice every single day and offer and invite them to come do positive things with you. Don't ever give up on that. So.
Or you could be the jerk that simply says, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to have that type of a conversation. We're not going to go dwell on that. We're going to do something else and stop that train of thought. I'm still your friend. I'm just not, listen, we're not going down that hole. And I have friends like that. They go on, I say, hey, we're not doing that. And they're like, oh. And you know what I mean? So we respect each other. So we're going to do this. Let's go change that up. And then they're like, I love you. You save me all the time. You know what I mean? They appreciate that I'm the person that won't just engage in like, oh, I know it's going to be okay. Sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes it's like snap out of it. We're not doing that.
All right. So I need to close out on this because I'm way past my limit here. So
I am too.
My Chuck Willie, I'm going to be going in 2 and 2.
I gotta hurry up before my last slipper comes off.
Chuck
Back
Willie.
to the original thesis here is that, hey, I'm open to anybody, but when it comes to where, hey, it's going to make or break me, this is my ride or die, I look at resume. I look at your past because more than likely you are ingrained. You are essentially brainwashed in a certain way. I used to think, oh, I'm never going to be like my dad. I am so much like my dad. In a good way. As a kid, I was like, oh my God, my dad's so crazy. Now it's like, my dad makes so much damn sense now, right? And everybody's like that. But if you're not in unison, I picked up rowing about 9 months ago, right? And they said, you need to row and swing. If you're not rowing and swing with me, we're going to be all off. And the water's going to be all choppy. The boat's going to be all off. And you're not going to glide through that water as smoothly as you need to. Now, not to say you shouldn't have your own boat and do your thing, and I'm going to help you ride along. So for me, look, I got a good 10 years left of high level intelligence, income, productivity, and then medium in the 60s, 70s, and then 80s. Hey, look, let's just enjoy whatever I got left, right? So I value time so much more. And if I'll make an impact, because heck, I do coaching. I do executive coaching, business coaching, some life coaching. I'll do that all day long to impact the community, the country, the universe, whatever I can. But at the end of the day, if you're talking about your ride or die or building an organization, a family, then you have to make a decision pretty damn quickly. And you have to evaluate, look, is this person going to be able to enhance this culture, this environment? If not, that's okay. You got to cut them loose and cut them loose fast.
Yeah.
And not everybody's a fit. Not to say that you're not positive to them by any means. So when it comes to relationship, I think, which is what we're originally talking about, is, hey, what does your past look like? And are you able to evolve? Have you had these, like I said, inflection points that shows growth? And that's what I'm into. If you can show growth, looks are a big part of it, because at the end of the day, we're trying to better or make sure we have a bloodline that lasts hopefully forever. At the end of the day, that's, to me, our nature. And if we don't find people that optimizes that, then we've lost our innate natural desire to be infinite.
But do you put a timeline on it?
What do you mean, Ricky?
So if you're just trying to help build somebody up and communicating and get those feelings and get everything, how long do you wait? You know, I mean, like, we all have baggage. You know, sometimes the baggage is the hardest thing to get through. How long do you wait dating and communicating and all that before you just give up?
I think you know off the bat. You know off the bat if you need to date or not. I forget which relationship expert, if you will, said it. It's like whenever you meet that person, and I've had two kind of ride or dies. You didn't say date one, date two. Like, oh, this is the one. But you look back, it's like there's something about this person that just you knew that there was that chance. And so if you don't have that spark, that je ne sais quoi, that this could be the one, then you drop them.
So a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year?
It doesn't matter. You know day one, do you continue or not? And there's at some point that you say, hey, you're going to give up on them because you're not willing to invest that time and energy anymore. But minute one, you know if they, you know minute one if they have, I wouldn't say minute one, day one, if they have that opportunity or not, or that have that characteristic or not.
So
I was in a situation where in my first marriage, it was nothing but mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional, physical, spiritual, everything. And eventually it took me a long time to get a divorce. But then it took me probably a year or two to get back out there. But I had all this baggage. And of course, the dating scene is always different once you go from one relationship to another. If it wasn't for my husband, he took probably a year to kind of help me get me to where I used to be. And I don't know if it was just his line of work or not, but I mean, it was a good year before we even said, okay, let's have a relationship. You know, so I mean, it is kind of important to some people because if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would be. I mean, we're separated now. We've been separated for 6 years, and that works out for us. But that's the situation. If he didn't take his time to kind of help me through my situation, there would have been no us at all.
But again, he saw something. I believe this is my thought process is that he saw something minute one in you, and that he was willing to invest. And that's the question you have to ask. You know, that's a lot of retrospective of who you are, what your values are, and what you're willing to put out into the world, universe, and to each other. That timeline.
So it's an invisible timeline. There's really no set month, year. It's just from day one is something. He must have had to seen it because, you know, I mean, I was there.
Yeah, you seen like for my ex. I mean, I saw it day one, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. But I saw, and I still today see that. I see it in her. I believe that she has this opportunity, this amazing nature about her, even though we're not together and there's some differences. But, you know, day one, I knew and I invested. And unfortunately, I didn't turn that around. And some of that I'm culpable for it. I'm not totally responsible for it. But I saw day one. Other people, I didn't see that day one or day two or whatever it is, and wouldn't invest that time and energy for my own, whether it's selfish or not, energy into it. I don't feel like I could turn that around.
all right, so I guess we're going to wrap this up. If anybody has anything
I
else.
gotta go. I gotta sleep. I gotta pack still.
Anybody got any last words on that?
Have fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say this really quickly too that you know,
I want to see my picture.
I've been married for a while.
You drew my lips all big.
Well, I wouldn't say that me and my wife were like super famous in the beginning years, but what I found was that what came to matter to me was that
here.
even on the things we didn't agree on or things we didn't get along with, it was that I seen her being willing to grow and to change, and she wanted to grow with me. And I think that's the very key. Like, if you're with somebody 6 months, you should know by that time, is this person going to grow with me? Are they going to try to change some things? Are they going to help me to change the things I need to change? Because I'm not perfect. And one thing I did realize too was that the people who kind of rubbed me the worst, right, if I stuck around long enough, I found that they were very much like me. They were my mirror image. They were sending back the things about myself that I didn't like. The thing I hated about them really was something that was in me that I didn't know was in me. That I'm doing the exact same thing, maybe just in a different way. And so it helped me to kind of see myself. If I took a step back and say, wait, let me see me. I think the people who the relationship just doesn't work when they keep moving from person to person, it's because they're not seeing themselves and they're blaming everybody else for the issues and the problems, and they're not looking at themselves. But if they would see themselves, two things would happen. One, they would have grace for the other person because they say, you know what, I'm pretty shitty myself, so how can I be so mean to them for what they've done? So you kind of humble yourself and you stop. The second thing is, when you see that and notice that, you say, I want to change. And in that time of changing, there's less of you becoming the aggressor at the other person, and there's more room for them to kind of breathe and see themselves or see the change in you and say, wow, he's being so much better. How much of a jerk am I? He's this and that, or she's this and that. And then the change can come into them. And that's really what it should be about, is us growing together. Again, the earth and the sun, they feed each other. They're in a respectful balance. There has to be that in any relationship, whether it's friendship, two men, two women, men and women, whatever it is, respect and balance. And so just look for that. Even if you guys fight sometimes, even if you can't see eye to eye, are we seeing growth? Are we seeing development? Are we getting closer to that point where we're closer together, where we're seeing eye to eye? And if it's not that, like Nat said, sometimes you got to cut folks loose. There's nothing wrong with that. Right now it's fall. Every tree you see, the leaves are falling off. They're called leaves because they have to leave. Sometimes you got to let things go for new growth to come in. Common said this, for you to grow, he had to go for what you're stopping them for. So you got to sometimes let things go, leave things alone so new growth can come in. That's all I had to say.
That's a good ending on that. I think we all agree on that.
All right, then.
All right, guys. So I'll see you next Thursday. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Hey, hold on. Drop out of the live, but stay on so I can talk with you for a second. All right, man. Be safe, man, on your journey.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Gavin, stay on. Like, get out of the live, but stay on so I can talk to you.